Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander. I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today we have my co-host, Kelly, who is here. Are you there, Kelly?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. And the lady that we have today, now, I've heard of lots of terms to describe who you are. I've heard of the term influencer is what I've heard, although I didn't hear you really describe yourself like that. But you seem to be an expert on social network marketing. Am I right about that?
Yes, absolutely. Influencer is a good way to describe it, yeah.
Yeah. Now, would you say you're an influencer?
Yeah, I would. I would say I'm a aspiring and growing influencer. There's several people who are successful in making a living as an influencer. But I feel like I'm not quite there yet, kind of growing my network to become one.
Oh, cool. Do you think that's something that requires a lot of money to do, or do you think it's something that anybody can do without spending money?
I think it's something that anyone can do, but when you don't have a lot of, if you don't have the financial, backing you, it does take more time. But I think that when you grow it naturally without, paying for boosting your ads and boosting your photos and paying for followers, that your influence over your followers and your audience is more genuine.
Oh, okay. Nice. Makes sense.
Yeah. So, okay. Now, go on, Kelly. What's your thing?
Oh, sorry. What are some of your favorite social networking sites that you can get followers quickly? You can keep them, keep their interest. Are there places and tips?
What are some of my tips for how to grow your account? Is that your question? I would say first by figuring out kind of who you are. I think when I first started Instagram, it was about a year ago. And I never had Instagram before, and I was okay. I randomly had this I want to get 10,000 followers on Instagram, and I started thinking, okay, so now how do I do that? And you kind of figure out what's your niche, what do I enjoy doing, what do I want to help people with, and once you kind of have that figured out, then you create the content. You go out and my niche, I would say, is fashion, traveling, and providing inspiration to follow your dreams. And so I'm okay, so now I have to go travel and wear crazy clothes in wild environments. And I'm okay, so now I've created the content. How do I get people to see it? And that required me to kind of follow other people who were doing things that were, kind of in the same vernacular as what I do. So then I go and comment and on their stuff and ask them questions. And that kind of provides a community on Instagram. And that is Instagram's goal is to create a community of people who kind of have the same goals, aspirations. And I think that's something that a lot of people miss when they look at Instagram.
Oh. Okay.
What would you say is the downside? You're saying Instagram. Are you saying that you would choose Instagram or Facebook? Or would you say Facebook and Instagram on the same level?
I would say that they are two different tools for different things.
Okay.
I feel Facebook is more of more personal, more of your community in your town, it's more of your family, people you truly know. and like when you're posting events and things like that. It's really good for, like, I know there's a lot of businesses that use Facebook, but I do know that businesses are moving towards Instagram more than, like, in the past, like, 3 years. Like, more businesses are converting over to Instagram.
I was going to say something. There was a many years ago. It wasn't Facebook. It was MySpace. MySpace was huge.
Right.
And the thing was I was, I mean, obviously, I'm going to get to my question in a minute, but MySpace, it didn't have a limit of friends. You could have as many friends as you like. Now, my question is, because if you look at it back on it, I cannot honestly think of why people would start going from MySpace to Facebook. Why would they suddenly? I mean, what was so wrong about MySpace that would make people just choose Facebook? I don't get it. What did Facebook have that MySpace didn't have?
I'm not quite sure. I remember the transition. I think I was like in high school, and my older sister was like, "You have to get on Facebook. Like, MySpace is no longer like a thing." And I'm like, "I'm not going to Facebook. Like, I like MySpace." And then, like, all my friends just, like, went over to Facebook, and then you, like, all of a sudden just, like, stopped using MySpace. So, and I kind of think that's happening to Facebook now with Instagram, but Facebook's kind of lucky because they own Instagram.
Oh.
I honestly, if I had to guess, this is what I think it is. MySpace had a like when they're actually limiting, when they limit the number of friends, then what they're actually doing is they're making it kind of hard. They're making it personal, but not too personal. Because here's the thing. If memory serves me right, there was an extremely thing on Facebook, on MySpace, where everybody was talking about child molesters on MySpace. And it's not really. I
was just like, child molesters.
But see, the only reason I was thinking is that Facebook probably knew how to handle that a little bit better than MySpace did.
Oh.
And that would be my guess. That would be my guess, because once you would say, okay, you can have unlimited friends, then, these. Because I think also another thing, this is the reason why the problem with having unlimited friends is this, is that once you have unlimited, with Facebook, okay, if you post on Facebook and you have a limit to the number of friends that you can have, then you know that everybody who sees your post is going to be a yes man. They're going to be somebody that you agree with, that agrees with you. If you have 2 million followers, 2 million friends, there's no way that everybody's going to agree with you. You cannot have 2 million people that are going to just say, "Oh yes, we loved it. Oh yes, we saw the last post, we loved it."
Yeah,
maybe that was
true.
the weakness for MySpace.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Instagram has kind of become that way too, though, where you can have, people have 2 million followers or, 120,000 followers. So, I guess, like, Facebook is created like another, like, outlet.
The only problem with the Facebook is that you're more likely to have a personal conversation. I don't think that's really true. Like, if a lady is saying, if she's laying on a pool table, say in a bikini or she's not saying, "Hey, call me, let's have a chat." What she's really saying is, "Send me money." Is what she's saying. Because I don't think that's what Kim Kardashian is really thinking. When she posts a picture of her on Instagram, she's standing in front of a mirror, totally nude. Yeah. She wants to have a conversation with you. Yeah,
Yeah, she's not looking for more followers. Well, the other thing I've noticed is, wasn't it like years and years ago when Facebook first started, before they put the cap on how many friends you could have, didn't they have somebody that went on record for having something like they hit 1 million followers or 1 million friends or something like that? And that was like a big thing. And now you're you're limited to 5,000. So sometimes there's somebody I really connect with that's been on the show. I go to friend them and I'm like, well, dang, they've already reached their quota, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, I think I've reached my quota, and I didn't know for probably a year. I'm like, why can't people add me on Facebook anymore? And it's like, oh, apparently there's a quota now. Yeah, because when I first got Facebook, that wasn't a thing. You could have as many friends.
Yeah, I wonder why they do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have people tell me, I tried to friend request you and I couldn't, and I'm like, I don't have anything saying that they can't, but there's not a button for it or something, and then, but yet I can friend them if I search them up. It's kind of weird, and yet other people have no problem sending me a request, so I don't know what their algorithm is that says, okay, this person can, but this can't.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Yeah,
I think Facebook is a little bit easier to understand than Instagram's algorithm. I don't really know that much about Facebook. I barely go on it except for when my grandma messages me. But with Instagram,
are you saying we're old?
I am not. I just again, I've only recently gone down kind of, I say this, I call it the game of Instagram, because they don't let you know what the algorithm is, and then 1 second it'll be okay, you can have this many hashtags, or if you use too many hashtags, even if we allow you 30 hashtags, we're not going to show your photo to this percentage of your followers, or if you've converted your account from a normal account to a business account, now your followers only see this, only a certain percentage of your followers will see your photo. So that's why when you see these influencers who have, let's say thousands of likes, you automatically know that they're paying for for their photo to be exposed. Not necessarily paying for likes, but they pay Instagram for the exposure of their photo.
Oh. So it's not an even playing field.
Yeah, it's definitely not an even playing field. And especially when you convert your account from a normal account to a business account, Instagram then it starts expecting you to be paying for those promotions and to be boosting your photo. And if you don't, then they more and more hide your photo. So I noticed that in the last there was a recent algorithm change in the last 3 months, which means whatever Instagram decided is the new way that they should be presenting their photos, completely changed, and they don't let people know, and they don't really tell you how it changed. But I know that it did because talking to other people on Instagram who use it as their main platform, their engagement went way down. And what engagement means is the number of likes and comments and views your profile and photos get.
Oh.
And so, and the reason why engagement matters, and why these influencers or people care about the number of likes and the amount of comments people have, is not necessarily a superficial, egotistic reason. It's more that it shows brands that I want to work with, or brands people want to work with, or different companies, how much influence they have with their followers, how many people are genuinely interested in what's being posted and being presented.
Well, let me tell you about something that happened. I think it was some time ago. I don't know if Kelly was around. There was a boxer. He was a heavyweight champion of the world and very famous. He made millions of dollars. And he had, I think, about 175,000 Twitter followers, okay? So most people who hear that number think it's a lot. Now, one of the things that he did was he had a thing where if you give him $20, he will tweet anything you ask him to, okay? So if you give him $20, he'll tweet anything you ask him to. Well, I actually emailed him. And I said, can you still do this? And he says, okay, well, I'll tell you what, you put deposit $20 into this such and such, and I'll tweet it for you. So I said, okay. And then he tweeted it. And nothing happened. It was the show. He tweeted the show link. But I always thought that it was a little more, so I thought it was a little more complicated than that. I mean, just because a guy has 175,000 followers, that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, people are going to come to the doorstep. You get my point?
I disagree. Because I get paid to post something on my story. Just by posting on my story, which is only, presented to my followers for 24 hours, that's like, because I have 6,000 plus followers, that's 6,000 people who check in on me and care about my opinion, what I have to say, because I make sure that I'm very open and honest, and I try to stay very vulnerable with
well, I guess what I'm trying to say is it depends on the person. It depends on the person. I mean, this is just a boxer. I guess you're in a different position. Yeah. But
you would be able to go over his statistics. What was that?
How much would you charge, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, now that I have more followers, I've gotten paid $10 for in the past. So about 20 to 25, depending on what product it is or what I'd say it's advertising. So, people pay more for advertising for a 24-hour ad. So that's definitely how I view it, and I'm able to go into my statistics, which is the feature of the business Instagram account, and see how many people have clicked on my story that immediately directs them to whatever, if it's a specific person, if it's a product, and I'll be able to present that to kind of my employer or my client, and be like, hey, so you had, out of the 2,000 people that watched my story, 200 people clicked on your name and then went to your profile. So that's pretty significant. That's the exposure of 2,000 people plus the fact that they were interested enough to then go forth and check you out.
Okay, so for $25 would be a 24-hour ad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not bad. I've noticed Facebook kind of does that because I have a couple of business pages, and they're show this, do you want to post this and have it, seen by 5,000 people up to such and such thousand, for such and such amount of money, we can, and it's sometimes it's been worth it, but for the most part, a lot of people see it, they click on it, they check out the profile, and then nothing happens. And, sometimes things do, but it's just kind of it's kind of a gamble at this point.
Right. So that's the boosting that I was talking about. That's because you have a business Facebook account, they're now making you pay to have your photo exposed. Where just with your regular Facebook account, if you posted the same photo, you'll probably get more views and engagement on it than you will on your business account. Why is that?
I've noticed.
Because Facebook wants your money.
Oh,
Facebook wants your
okay.
money. So they purposely, in their algorithm, will not have your photo shown.
Okay. Yeah, I've noticed that. It's like I'll have 38 people liking something that's the same thing I've got on my business thing, and it might have 2 viewers on the business one. So,
Right.
yeah, it's like, oh, well, that's fantastic.
Right. It's not your content. It's not something personal. It's just the way of the game. Again, that's just how that goes.
So, how do you get ahead if you don't have the bankroll at the moment to promote like every little post that you want to put on your business page?
And that's where I say influencers come in, because now you have someone who has a personal relationship with these people, and you find someone who has a very specific niche or their niche, right? And if somebody is really in, like, they're trying to sell like a hunting product, right? They would want to go to an influencer that posts nothing about, like, nothing but like hunting stuff. So all of their 6,000 followers care about hunting stuff. So most likely you have that whole audience of people who are very interested in hunting. They specifically follow that person because they like the hunting stuff that they post. So then you ask that influencer, hey, like, how much is it to post on your story for my product? I have this hunting product, whatever. And then you're able to you have a very specific targeted, ad that's going to be cheaper, and you're able to see those results.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now let's say, like, for me, I have like animal rescue. I've got this show. I've got the I do energy work. So I know, like, to appeal to people that are also into exotic animals or animals in general or rescuing, and then appeal to people on a spiritual, type basis. But how would I become one of those influencers? Like, I've got like almost 3,000 followers, which is pretty significant. But,
Definitely.
How do I become one? Yeah, thank you.
Well, and that's like what I was saying. Like, I have 6,000 followers or whatever, and I wouldn't even classify myself as an influencer, or like, am I, like, it's kind of like that toss-up of, like, I've definitely seen successful influencers who only have 3,000 followers, and kind of like that differences in that engagement level. How many likes and comments are you getting on your photos? Is it over 10%? Is it, like, if you have 3,000, are you getting 300 likes? Or are you only getting like 100? So that's kind of like one thing. Another is, like, I would say, if you are working with like specific brands, or if you yourself are just promoting your own, services and things like that. There's different types of influencers. You have ones that are specifically travel, ones that like are health. I've seen just essential oil influencers. It's kind of a very broad market.
I have a question now. We in the beginning of the year, what I did to help out Kelly was I got a subscription to IMDb, and we did it so that and I know that this is the contact to get these people on, but it got me thinking: is IMDb? I don't know if you know anything about IMDb, but what it does is it gives you the contact information for the agents and and we've never really been able to use it to get an interview, but we do know that the contact of the person that I'm supposed to talk to. Have you ever used IMDb?
I have not. Yeah, but it sounds
so if you
interesting.
Were to I guess I'm curious, is IMDb your best choice, in your opinion, for getting in touch with a celebrity?
I'm not I'm not really familiar, so I wouldn't really know what to.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
We've had celebrities on, and then they're saying, we'll tell our friends we love being on the show. We love, this or that, and sometimes we get referrals, and sometimes we don't, or if we do, then it didn't go very far, and sometimes they do. But it's kind of baffling, like what we can do to get. It's not necessarily we want to get like big names on all the time, but we want to have like a variety type show where people can talk about anything and do it in a safe way that they're not going to be like having people jump on them for bringing something else. So,
right.
and a lot of times our shows do fall under spirituality. Sometimes there'll be like a famous person, like actress or an author or something, and they are on a platform about something that is near to their heart or something they've been through and they want to help other people with. And so it's not like we are just a one trick pony. It's like we're kind of on the broader scope of the whole title of the show, The Life, Laughter, Happiness, because it's we want to put a smile on people's faces, give them something to think about, have them feel involved, and, help people and help connect people. And everybo's saying, this is so great, there's nothing out there like this. And then it's like, how do we grow it? Because we're not, the one topic, wonder, how do we appeal? Do we just go to influencers that are like, okay, this one's an influencer in the spiritual, aspect, and then this one is an influencer in the, famous author type thing? I mean, is that the kind of thing that we would do?
Yeah, I mean, also, like a recommendation that I would have would be, like anyone that comes on the show, make them advertise that they're going to be on the show. Be like, even if it's a simple post on Facebook, a photo on like Snapchat, it's social media is, like word of mouth on crack, because what do you listen to? You listen to your friends and family about what they enjoy, like when you're like, oh, what TV show have you been watching? What podcasts have you been listening to?
Right.
And so it's the same thing, but just digital. And so, I mean, I would just be like, hey, like I'll definitely like give you guys like a shout out on my page. If you guys are more, more involved on Facebook, I'll say like, hey, go follow them on Facebook. Or if you guys have an Instagram page, definitely like, I'd like, and then I'll be able to like show you the statistics and be like, hey, this is like how many people, viewed your page, and then, just kind of like show you, because I'm a growing influencer. One day I hope to have, like the 1 million followers with the verified check mark, but that takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of work when you're doing it without a lot of like finances backing you up. Because for me, I enjoy the long-term struggle of it, because it does.
Mm-hmm.
It takes countless hours. It's a full-time job. I not only am I like I travel for it and make sure I'm like meeting people and networking with them while I'm like out, but I'm also like making sure I'm meeting people and networking on Instagram, which takes a lot of time. Like people are like, oh, you're always you're always on your phone. Like, yeah, but I'm working. I'm like, but I'm working. And that's how I say, when I can't be on my phone, I won't be on my phone. Like, when I don't have to be, I will not be on my phone. I'm like, I'm putting, the work day is over. My phone's, like, far away from me, Yeah,
and people don't get it. They're like, why do you keep, posting stuff? Well, because, eventually it's going to turn out to be something.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, what we do is we basically, the idea of the shock grenades, and by the way, we have a caller. Do you want to take a caller?
I'm cool with it. Are you?
Yeah, definitely.
You okay?
Cool.
All right. Okay, area code 425. You're on the air.
Hi, it's Robin.
Hello.
Hey, Robin.
Hello?
How's it going? Hi.
Hello.
It's going good. So I heard you about social networking. So what I've done is that I've been going to a lot of different I go to horror and Comic-Con conventions. So what I've done, I've actually made friends that are actually exhibitors there. And which works well. They're actually on my friends list on Facebook now.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
Wow.
getting I think meeting people in person, like at conventions, that is where I get the majority of my followers. When I go to like a nightclub and go to like a convention, I like kind of set a specific number of people I'd like to get on Instagram. Like I'd be like, okay, this trip I'm going to try to get 500 followers. And by like going to conventions, that's the best way to network. So awesome.
Oh, wow. How do you talk to so many people at something?
so how do I talk to so many people?
Yeah.
It's very easy for me to do it. I'm just a very easy person to talk to.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah. So, my jaw almost fell on the floor when I thought you're going somewhere and you're getting 500 new people. Like when you said that, I was just like, I don't know if I mean, I could be in a crowded convention and I'll talk to 100 people, but it'd be really hard to get to like 500.
I would say something like that I do. So one, like, conversations are quick. Immediately, one of my first questions is, like, you have like a quick chit chat, you're getting to know them. So like, oh my goodness, like, get me on Instagram, let's connect. I will, I'll either grab their phone and just like type in my name right away, and it's awesome. Like, and then I'll make sure I send myself a message from their Instagram account to me, so I know who they are, and I kind of like give like a quick description, be like, hey, like we met at this convention, like, so then I know where I met them. I know when I go into my messages that I either want to follow them back because I like know them, or like if I get up someone that follows me and I don't know them, I don't necessarily follow them back. But if I do, then I have a message from them, then I follow them. And from that point, when I like have followed them back, I check to see who they follow, where are they from, and then I'll go and follow some of their friends that they're already following. And once they see that they're like the people that I'm following of their friends see that one of their friends are following me, then they'll follow me back, because it says like, oh, this person is followed by these people that you also follow. Does that make sense?
Some of these people that I talk to are actually local. And,
what I do with Instagram is I search for people in the location of Miramar Beach, Florida, and what I'll find is I'll get a lot of texts of people who were on the beach. They're on the beach and they're posing, and it had happened 20 minutes ago. So it probably happened,
Okay.
So, and
cool.
There's this one comic artist named Dirk Manning, and so you know how sometimes it's a small world. So
Yeah.
So there's this one comic artist named Dirk Manning that I became friends with. I've known for about 3 to 5 years now, and so he does these he has these graphic novels called Nightmare World. So I used to do martial arts, and there's this person named Kristen Perry that I used to do martial arts with. Well, she happens to be an artist, and she did art for all his for those covers.
Oh, wow. Well, and you've met Stan Lee too. I mean, not very many people can say they have. You have a picture.
Yeah.
It proves it.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, that's huge. That's like a huge connection, even though he's gone. I mean, you know, if you were able to have him on social media as a contact person, then you've got, you know, access to having mutual friends.
I've had Jackie Stallone on the show before. Sylvester Stallone's mom.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet her. That's going to be awesome.
I mean, so
But
I have people who have directed movies before on my. I have a movie director on my show that I never met him, but he used to have this forum that only had about 10 people on it, and he's a pretty cool guy because he sent me a lot of cool stuff for his cult movies that are hard to find now.
oh, cool. Wow. So Instagram is like the big hit for being able to get on and social network. I know Snapchat is, but it's kind of hard to figure out why. Google Hangouts is kind of confusing.
Well,
I stopped
Miranda,
using Snapchat.
Miranda, why do you think Snapchat is not getting hit? Is that interesting?
Well, I mean, for me, as a female, probably because of that, I would get, when I was, you know, like a few years ago, I would get a lot of guys that would be wanting to be my friend, and then I get on there, and then they're sending me pictures they shouldn't be without my permission. And it was, you know, they felt it was a great place to do that because it disappears after a few minutes. And there's, you know, and it's like, you know, if I wanted that, I would have asked for it. And that seemed to be the only kind of guys that I was getting on there. And maybe it was just putting out the wrong vibe at the time. I mean, thank God I don't get that now. But,
Do you
know,
think that's true, Miranda?
Yeah, I don't use Snapchat either.
I would say I've noticed more of a trend for Snapchat being for those things that are a little bit more risque and things that, you know, we want to disappear in 24 hours. And, you know, people are making a huge living on Snapchat by posting such things where you pay the premium to follow them and to have a subscription to their Snapchat. And it's like a $20 a month, $50 a month to be able to watch their Snapchat stories and get personal Snapchats from them.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily a bad place. It just depends on what you want to do with it. I mean, and that's not saying that what they're doing is bad. It's just, you know, it can be used for that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think there's more of a general trend that that's what Snapchat is used for, more so than Facebook and, like, Instagram. So, I mean, that was kind of like, you know, your question, like, what's your, you know, the difference between, like, Facebook and Instagram? I feel like each platform kind of has its specific audience and what it's used for.
Okay.
And also, I did some research into MySpace, and, you know, I went back on MySpace just to see it, and it was not user-friendly. I mean, I just couldn't figure it out, whereas Facebook, at least Facebook was friendly, you know. They would change, like, it used to be, now, one thing that they got rid of on Facebook is you can't suggest friends anymore. You can't take somebody and then suggest somebody as being someone else's friend. You can't do that. And I know because it's gone. It's not there anymore. I mean, you know, so.
Oh.
I went back on MySpace to try to make a profile once, and I can't even figure it out.
Right.
Weird.
See,
I'm
the more I've been using Instagram, the harder Facebook is for me to use it. Now, like, it's been almost like a year that I haven't really used Facebook, and I mean, you know, again, like I go on it like now and then, but I'm like, how do I post a picture? Where are my albums? I'm like, oh my goodness, I barely know Facebook now.
Oh, I felt like that on Instagram. It's like, how do I post this? I can see 50,000 other people's posts that I might be following because they ask you to, you know, pick, you know, categories and pick people to follow. But it's like, if I don't have anybody following me or if I have few people following me, well, how do I post to those people, and how do I know that they're, you know, it's just really confusing.
Yeah, I definitely, I mean, again, like I just got on it a year ago, and I kind of forced myself to be like, okay, I'm going to like learn how to do this. My background is in biology. I graduated from UW-Madison with a biology degree and an emphasis in stem cell research. So I was like a science geek, like through and through. And if you like look at like my Facebook like a year from now, the only photos of me were like family ones, and half the time I was like making a funny face because I hated photos. And so for me, it's been kind of a personal journey of kind of like discovering self-confidence and kind of creating my own business. That would be like my journey with Instagram, and I had no idea how to do any of it. How do you post a story? What are stories? Because I think only Facebook recently got stories, and I didn't understand like what they were. Never used Snapchat and like what the stories were there. Now stories is my favorite feature on Instagram, and I probably don't post anything to my feed, but like I'll be posting on my story.
Oh. Now, what is the difference on there? Is it like Facebook that way?
Yep, it's like that. Yep. Because I think Facebook got the story feature like within the last like 6-7 months. So it's a newer feature to Facebook, just because they recently bought Instagram.
Oh, okay. I like that it shows me who's looking at my story on Facebook, and who liked it and whatever. And I just started figuring that out. But you don't know who's looking at your profile on Facebook. You don't know who's looking at your feed. Unless they put a like or a comment. You don't know. I mean, I think those little boxes at the top where it shows your friends, I think that's an order of who's watched recently on your actual page, but I have no idea. It could be like who you've been talking to in chat for all I know. It could be just random. I don't know. But, you know, it's kind of weird. But at least with stories, you know who's seen it. I mean, does anybody understand that part where it has like your friends at the top and it shows like the top 6, or it doesn't even say it's the top 6, but you know, it's like usually the same 10 people but switched around on there?
Only friends are able to see your stories.
Right. But I mean, as far as like who's looking on your page or who's interacting or whatever, like on the top of your page underneath like your photos, and before you can post, it's got like the who's on or who your friends are, and it shows like 6 of them, and you've got 300 or you've got 3,000, but it's only showing like 6 at a time. Like, how does it choose those 6?
Yeah, that's probably some like weird algorithm that like they've like developed that like says like, hey, these are your best friends, you know, these are the people you actually care about. Because they do that also with you know, like when you on Facebook, like when you like first get on, you see the first couple photos. Like the first couple photos that you see are either the like your who Facebook says are your close friends or your family or something like that, and then people who pay. People who pay to be up on the top. So I know what you're talking about, and I've always wondered that. Like, how do they decide what 6 people? Is it the people that are stalking you? Is it the people that you're stalking? You know, like, why those people?
Oh, okay. So nobody really knows. I mean, for a while I thought it was like top 6 that were checking you out, you know, or whatever, and not necessarily saying anything, but who knows? Yeah, it kind of freaks me out. Like, okay, why are they there? I haven't talked to them in this long, you know, time, but suddenly they pop up on they're on my friends list, you know. So yeah, it's kind of weird. You know, I don't know. They have, you know, all kinds of weird things. I don't quite understand why they do the way they do, but when you factor in that people are paying, you know, and I don't know if the ones that are paying, are they just the ones that say sponsors or whatever, the sponsored, you know, advertisement?
Yeah. For the most part, yes. Also, I know that like you also see if you look at my general theory is anyone that has over like 6, 7, 8,000 followers, right? They're getting paid for almost every one of their photos. And and I can prove that by like if you go and click into like their, you know, when it says like read more, you know, after their little caption, you'll go into their hashtags or you'll read a little bit further and it will say hashtag ad or hashtag paid sponsorship, you know. You click on the photo and you see all the people that are tagged in it. Like those are either people that they want to be paying them for their posts or that they are getting paid for it.
What was that last part? I mean, you said that about hashtag ad and hashtag paid sponsorship, but what was the last part?
When you like double click on somebody's photo and it like shows all the people that are like tagged in the photo, you know, kind of like how Facebook has it, like who's in the photo, who's tagged, you know, like you'll see in like influencers' photos, like who, like what clothes they're wearing, you know, if they're wearing, you know, like, I don't know, like Prada or like Louis Vuitton or any like, you know, big name brands, or let's say it's like you're shopping at Walmart and there's a picture there. Like sometimes even Walmart will pay influencers to be posting on their feed. And so as you can pay for somebody to post something on their story, you can pay someone even more to be posting on their feed.
Oh, okay. You're paying more to post on their feed.
Yep, and because that's like, you have to think that is that photo is there forever.
Oh, okay. Now, the ones where it's a sponsored thing and I think, oh, this is a really cool product and I put it like on my page, I'm basically giving this sponsored product paid advertising that they didn't ask about and they didn't pay me for.
Exactly. That's why businesses are using Instagram so much, because half the time you get free advertising.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I've done some of those, you know, where I end up doing free advertising for someone else, but it would be nice if it was turned around.
Right, exactly. And like that, you know, it's very it takes time to kind of build that momentum where people are interested in your, you know, whatever you're trying to present, you know, like with your podcast, like it takes It's time and effort to build that like audience, just like as it does like on like your podcast. It takes that same amount of time and effort for your Instagram account, and so because of that, people pay people to manage their Instagram accounts. So that's like another thing that I do. I have 2 clients that I manage their Instagrams for them. So I have their passwords, and I post for them, and I comment and like things for them. So it's that's like a whole other kind of side to the world of Instagram.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know somebody that pays a company to put real estate stuff on there because they're realtors, and sometimes they're not real happy because they're not, doing a whole lot of posts. But, and I'm thinking, well, I could do it a lot better than that. But, it's because I'm posting stuff for my stuff all the time. Even, it
right.
makes it difficult, on a work day, but, there's breaks. That's what breaks are for.
That's what breaks are for. Yeah. So not only am I managing like my Instagram account, but I'm managing 2 other people's Instagram accounts.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So you kind of have to like learn your client's voice. How do they post? What kind of people are they trying to, reach and stuff like that. So.
Oh, okay. That takes some doing. You have to really know, like you said, learn their voice, things like that. And I'm sure that a lot of celebrities, they're not managing their own, Facebook
right.
and Instagram. They have people that are doing that. And then if they reply to something, it's only because somebody thought it was profound enough to bring to their attention, or they're replying for them. So,
right.
When they're getting thousands of things in their inbox, they're not going to read them all. They can't.
Right. I mean, I would say, like, I'm on the low end, of things.
Yeah.
And I get, like, every week I'm getting 100+ DMs of, like, people who don't already follow me. So I have, like, 100 requests in my inbox. And, that's like part of the work, you gotta. And for me, like, I run like, I work on a couple different businesses, and so sorting through who's messaging me for what reason, it just takes time, but it's fun because I get to meet new people, and it's part of the reason why I'm on this podcast.
That's cool, yeah. And it, I hate to say it, but, when you get the people that are just like, sending a message saying, hey, it's like, can you be more specific? Because I got to move along on the messages here. If it's, just, putting that little FYI out there, you'll get more if you put more into it.
Right. Like, I typically do not message the people who just message me, hey.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I check out their profile and I'm like, oh, okay, like, we have, like, these common interests or something like that,
Yeah, same here. Yeah, because I'm on a few other, platforms I'm not necessarily going to mention, but, and a lot of those are like, hey, baby. Well, you get 10 of those in an hour. It's like, it's just like, wow, thanks, that was profound. Yeah, I got to respond to that one. That one's so different.
That one's so different. I haven't gotten 6 of those already.
Right? Yeah. If you're breathing and female, you're probably going to get some of those. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and if you're moderately attractive, you're probably going to get a lot more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't you come across once in a while like fake profiles and fake people, and you end up being able to figure it out and call them out on it.
Yeah.
For some reason, somebody thought that this is what we run into with apparently guys they get a lot. I don't know if women do, but I know this guy at least gets a lot of robots, chat robots. Hi, how are you? I'm fine. Say, where are you from? And then you can tell it's a robot because they completely ignored me when I said where you're from. They just say, I am over here, and I'm over here in Brazil, and I'm a student. Or no, they'll say I'm a student, but I'm a student. I'm from North Carolina. Oh, okay, you're a student from North Carolina, but I'm in Africa right now. Which usually means, oh, great, I know what this means. They want to come to the United States. They need help, but they this person is going to ask me, and then they say, oh yes, can you buy me a that's it.
No. Or I've got an account, of a person who passed away that's giving away their fortune. I just need your bank account number.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or I love the one. Yeah, it's like, or you love the one where, you start having a conversation and you're like, where are you from? And they're like, I'm wearing red lacy panties. And I'm like, bye.
Bye.
That's not what I was asking. Yeah. Yeah, or you should visit me on my website at blah, 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 and watch me on my webcam. No, thanks. Bye. Yeah. It's
right. Or now it's watch me on Snapchat.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, yeah. And, then there's always the, people that talk to you for 10 minutes and then they're like, I love you. Thank you. Yeah. Or they hit on you like, are you single? You're so beautiful. And they're in a picture with their spouse. And it's like, thanks, bye. Yeah, it's just, it's creepy. It's creepy. I want to be polite, but it's like, I gotta go. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as like for me, I post about almost like on my stories. I like show what I'm doing throughout the day or like what I'm working on, and it's definitely kind of creepy to me sometimes. Or I'm like, and I post like the location thing because when you have like the location GPS thing on your story, then it like posts it to like people I'm from Wausau, Wisconsin, and so they're like, oh, I post this to like Wausau, Wisconsin's like Instagram page, and that like then it's like who like that's all those people who are like watching me, or it's like kind of, what is the difference between these are stalkers and these are people who check in with me or value what I post, so it's kind of like anyone could find me at any time. Almost.
Oh, so it is kind of like a creeper alert, know if it's somebody you're going to want watching kind of a thing.
Right. And I don't know, I guess like at this point I've just kind of accepted that, and I think that's but that is like a piece of it. There's like that's what the influencers do, and it's just kind of like part of it, but nobody really talks about how probably like unsafe it can be, for them.
Yeah, like, one of the things I don't like is in order to have a business page, you have to have a location, and even if I don't put my address, it shows right on, like, Google Maps where I am, and I'm like, well, good thing I've got locks, a security system, and great neighbors.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to know where I am, even if I don't want them to. That's great.
Well, on Snapchat, it shows the exact street you're on and the exact house with Snapchat maps.
Wow. So that would be alarming if somebody's doing something in the more adult sector, because that would be like, you don't know who's on your thing, and it could be somebody really whacked out.
Right. You can turn that feature off. So, like on Snapchat, you can turn that off. So that is a good thing. Like you can put it on, like, they call it ghost mode.
Oh, I think I've done that before. When I was on it, it was kind of creepy. But, because most of the time people are wanting to do things that they don't want people to know about. It was like, oh, this is lovely. Yeah. But, I mean, there's a platform for everybody, so that's kind of cool. But, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. If people want to do that, as long as they're legal age and not being coerced, then great.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Well, it's been great having you on.
What? The hour's done?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're kidding me, Johnny. Wow,
Yeah,
that
over.
went fast. Wow. Okay. I was having fun. Well,
we'll have to talk more about Instagram sometime, Kelly.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Would you ever want to come back, Miranda, maybe, and get a chakra day?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, very
You know what that
cool.
is,
I'd love
right?
to do that.
Did you say a chakra reading?
Yeah.
Chakra day. Explain to her what it is, Kelly.
All of us have energy centers, and they're called chakras. There's 7 major ones, and I can go in and take out blocks. I can take out negative energy, and I can help a person intuitively if they want to, like, read what's going on and help them out with different areas, because they're all connected to, like, bodily systems and organs and, like, embedded emotions and, traumas or whatever is in that area specifically that might be stuck. So that's what I do, and I help, with positivity and being able to attract better things into our life.
Yeah, that's super awesome. I've never had that done before. I think I had like a chakra alignment one.
It's pretty close to it's pretty much the same thing, but I do it a little differently because everybody does it a little different.
Yeah, I am definitely very interested, and then I can give you more advice about Instagram and stuff like that for your animal sanctuary stuff and what your healing, kind of promoting that stuff. I won't be able to help you too much on Facebook, just because it's not my expertise, but
Instagram would be a godsend, because I swear I know almost everything to do with Facebook, and Instagram I'm totally lost. Like, what is this thing? How do I do this? So, that would be a godsend. I would love to do your chakras, and then we could have like a interview of you afterward, and see. And then I like to, follow along, with people, make sure they're still doing okay, or the things that I predicted, see if they're, coming true, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But so far it's been spot on. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and thanks for calling in, Robin. And thanks, everybody, for being here.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys. I had a great time. I will give you guys a shout-out. So, look for it.
Excellent. Thank you